She whispered on the phone, "At least he'll cover the baby costs, even if." That half-finished sentence has been echoing in my head for weeks. I, 30M, have been with my wife, Emma, 28F, for 4 years, married for 1. We've always talked about having kids someday, but we weren't actively trying. A few months ago, she told me she was pregnant. I was shocked, but excited. Nervous, too. I mean, who wouldn't be? But the idea of becoming a dad, of building a family with the woman I loved, felt right. I threw myself into planning. I started putting money aside for baby supplies, researched cribs, even started thinking about moving into a bigger place. Emma seemed happy too, teary-eyed when she showed me the positive test, making Pinterest boards about nursery colors, all that. Life felt full. Until that phone call. It was late one night, maybe 11 p.m. Emma was in the kitchen. I had gone upstairs to get ready for bed. Our house is old, and sound carries through the vents. I wasn't trying to listen, but as I passed the hallway vent, I caught her voice. She was whispering, urgent, almost scared. I froze when I heard her say, "At least he'll cover the baby costs, even if what?" I stood there, my heart hammering in my chest. She paused, then her voice got even quieter. I couldn't make out the rest. I wanted to walk in, to ask her right then and there what she meant. But my legs felt like they were cement. I crept back upstairs, lay in bed, and pretended to be asleep when she joined me 20 minutes later. The next morning, I couldn't stop replaying it. At least he'll cover the baby costs. Who was he? Why would she say that? Unless the baby wasn't mine. I tried to brush it off. Maybe I misheard. Maybe she meant me, but was venting to a friend. But the paranoia grew. Over the next week, I noticed things I hadn't before. She guarded her phone more closely. She smiled at texts she didn't share with me. She had doctor's appointments that always seemed to run late. I started to feel sick. Finally, I couldn't take it. I confronted her. "Emma," I said, "who were you talking to the other night?" She blinked. "What are you talking about?" "I heard you. You said, 'At least he'll cover the baby costs.' What did you mean?" Her face went pale. She stammered, "You must have misheard. I never said that." But I knew I had. I pushed again. "Is this baby mine?" She burst into tears. For a second, I thought she was going to deny it completely. Instead, between sobs, she said, "I don't know." Those 3 words destroyed me. She finally admitted that during a rough patch in our marriage, when we were fighting a lot and barely talking, she slept with someone from work. It happened a few times. She said it didn't mean anything, that it was a mistake, that she regretted it immediately. She swore she ended it months ago, but then she found out she was pregnant, and she doesn't know who the father is. I just sat there in silence. My world crashed down. I had been building a future in my head, planning for a baby that might not even be mine. When I asked about the phone call, she admitted she'd been talking to him. She told him about the pregnancy. She said he offered to help with costs if the baby turned out to be his. That's what I overheard. I wish I could say I handled it calmly, but I didn't. I yelled. I asked her how she could do this to me, to us. I asked if she loved him. She said no. She swore she loved me, that I was her partner, that she wanted this life with me. She begged me not to leave, not to give up on the marriage. But how do you come back from that? How do you look at the woman you married, the one you trusted more than anyone, and not see betrayal? How do you prepare to raise a child when you don't even know if you're the father? It's been 3 weeks since that night. We've done a paternity test, but the results aren't back yet. Every day feels like a lifetime. She's trying. I'll give her that. She's cooking my favorite meals, being extra affectionate, constantly apologizing. She says she made a terrible mistake, and that she'll do whatever it takes to fix it. But every time I look at her, I hear those words again. At least he'll cover the baby costs. Because to me, it wasn't just about cheating. It was about how easily she turned to him, how she involved him in something that should have only been between us. My friends are split. Some say people make mistakes, that if I love her, I should forgive her, especially if the baby is mine. Others say this is the clearest red flag possible, that trust this broken can never be rebuilt. My family? They're furious. My sister told me flat out, if you stay with her, you're a fool. And me? I'm stuck. Part of me still loves her. I can't just erase 4 years together. Part of me wants this baby to be mine more than anything, because I already feel attached. But another part of me knows that even if the test says the baby is mine, the cracks in this marriage may never heal. I'm scared that if I stay, I'll spend the rest of my life wondering if she'll cheat again, wondering if this baby will someday look at me and I'll see the other man's face. I don't know if I'm strong enough to live with that. The results come back in a week, and in that envelope, my entire future is waiting. If the baby is mine, maybe we'll try counseling, maybe we'll rebuild, or maybe I'll still walk away, knowing love isn't always enough. If the baby isn't mine, then I don't think there's a decision to make. Either way, I'll never forget that night, standing by the vent, hearing her whisper, "At least he'll cover the baby costs, even if..." Because that was the moment my marriage ended, whether on paper or just in my heart.